Courageous Conversations. Sounds intimidating, doesn't it? Something I'll have to do if I ever decide to join the caseworkers at DCF in St. Albans. I've been a hairdresser now for a little over 12 years, and I have just realized that it's not even the hair that I like to do. It's actually the intimacy between me and my clientele. Hair therapy. Everybody comes to see you if they've had a good day, bad day, kids are driving them nuts, husband's driving them crazy. I hear about it in my chair. My favorite part of my day. With that being said, my parents have also always been involved in foster care. We have fostered kids for the last 10 years, ranging from 2 days old all the way down to 17 years old. You could only imagine what the challenges that could bring. Both good and bad, but it's definitely a learning curve and such an exciting ride to be on. Today, I'm going to discuss with you communication technology, persuasion, and presentation at the DCF office in St. Albans, as reported to me by Ashley McCool. So let's just jump right into it. Communication technology is major right now. We've got COVID restrictions. We've got people wearing masks, uncomfortable with masks. So communication technology is numero uno. So we're using multiple different platforms. Ashley McCool is the caseworker that I interviewed in St. Albans, and she let me know that they're using laptops, cell phones, and email for all of forms of communication. The laptops are critical. They have each been given one. They are used for virtual meetings, so Zoom, Google Hangout, any platform that they use, it has to be documented. So FaceTime alone doesn't work, but any other one would be great. They also use laptops for VPN, which is how they get all of their case files virtually. They also are using different types of platforms for trainings and team meetings. They have paired with VPW with UVM so that they were able to get all of their trainings for new caseworkers or older caseworkers who needed new update training. Everybody's doing it through that platform. So that was kind of a nice gateway through COVID. They are also using cell phones. Cell phones are for all their meeting schedules, contacting their case plan review board, contacting their clientele, contacting the children in custody, working with their coworkers. Every case load is given the cell phone number, and they have to respond within 24 hours. A typical caseworker works 8 to 4, though often those hours are extended. So Ashley was letting me know that with her day, it usually gets done around 6, but she's still answering texts throughout the night. She does have the ability to wait until the morning, but she's like, I'm sure if it's urgent, people wouldn't be texting me at 2 a.m. So if it's at 2 a.m., I'm going to respond. I thought that was pretty nice of her, because I'm not sure that all of caseworkers are like that. In fact, I know that some of them are definitely not like that. And email is used as networking. So they use emails mostly for like mass emails between different community members. So if we're getting from NFI, NCSS, any outside agency, that's where they're kind of doing all their group communication, because they can tag a lot of people all at once. Which brings me to my next theory. We're going to talk a little bit about persuasion. So persuasive message, I wasn't even sure what that really meant, to be honest with you. And what I learned is that it's a call to action. So I talked to Ashley a little bit about what a call to action would be working in the DCF field, and she said courageous conversations. And I was like, what's that? Sounded a little scary to me. She let me know that courageous conversations are an open port for communication among coworkers, which I thought was kind of interesting to have such an interesting field for adults to have like an I statement form. So it's a nice way for people to not let things build up over time, or if they took like a comment a snide way, or if something wasn't clear, they can say, hey, I wasn't really sure what you meant by that. Can you let me know? And they go on from there. But it's an open platform where there's no like hard feelings and people are really engaged, which I thought was nice because then it doesn't really let things build up over time. She also let me know that in working with her upper management that she feels really, really supported, which was great to hear because, I mean, in a salon, sometimes you don't always feel supported when you're working with 15 other girls. It can feel a little like tit for tat. So it was really comforting to hear that she was feeling really supported. She reminded me of a time where she had to work with a COTS worker who is somebody who helps get people housing, parents that are looking for housing who maybe are a little bit unstable at this moment. And if they don't respond in a nice, timely manner, 2 weeks, she can reach out to her manager and the manager will simply step up the chain of command and make sure that they get an adequate answer in a shorter time frame. She also said that recently this week, she met with a foster parent who was just beside herself. Totally unconsolable, hysterical, was not happy with the news that she received. And Ashley was like, I can give you my manager's number. Don't worry about it. You can call her. And her manager was like, no problem. Thanks for giving her my number. I'll help de-escalate the situation. And she said, not because I felt like somebody would say what I said differently, but just so that the person knew like this was in agreement with my supervisor, which was really nice to feel as well because she's totally well supported. And I feel like in a field like that, you really need to be well supported. She also said while working with clientele, it's a little bit different. That she can tell as soon as she approaches somebody that they don't want her to be around, that they're unengaged, they're often sulking, hands behind their back, totally not even listening. She said they're checked out from the second that they see me, which was a little scary to hear because I hate to feel vulnerable and I hate that they already feel vulnerable. I really like that, like, it's okay, we can get through this together kind of world. And so that can feel really intimidating. So she said it was really important to be kind of like wearing the same kind of clothes as them, maybe feeling really approachable, not really feeling like you're like this suit wearing business person here to steal their kids, because that's not going to make anything better. You know, they want to get their kids back just as much as you want them to get their kids back. They just kind of need a little more guided support. Which brings me to my last thing. Presentation. Talking again about the clothes. Can't go to court looking like you just rolled out of bed. She reminded me how important it is to be able to switch between multiple hats. If you don't know what I mean by that, meaning going to the courtroom and you have to be very business oriented and very like-minded with the judge. And you need to be able to switch from that role directly back into working with the clientele who's waiting outside the room for you, who really kind of needs your moral support or just needs a guided hand. So being able to switch hats really is key to this field. So it was really nice to hear from her that walking into the courtroom, it's really important to be able to have all of your stuff, ducks in a row, so to say. Make sure that you're dressed appropriately, that you're timely, and that when you go out to that hallway and you see that the clientele is out there, being able to kind of switch gears. Relax your shoulders, welcome them, let them know that you're there still, you're still fully on board with them, this is the plan, and you're totally engaged with them. Being supportive, making sure that you keep the open lines of communication, making sure that they feel heard. All things that it's really important to hear. I asked her a little bit about what that looks like working with coworkers or management, like in an office setting, and because of COVID, there's no office setting. She said she goes in one day a week. There's usually 3 or 4 people there, but they're well spaced out and they don't really communicate. And she hasn't even seen her manager since March. She only sees her in a virtual meeting. How crazy is that? So she said, really, my kind of coworker experience right now is totally lax. Everybody is kind of just really free flowing. There's not really any like pajama wearing style because everyone's doing it virtual. Nobody really cares what you're wearing, which was interesting to hear, but totally understanding because of the world that we're living in. So that concludes what I had to come here to talk to you all about today. I really feel like it's important to understand the needs for communication technology, persuasion, and presentation while working with a DCF office in St. Albans. I really hope that you are able to find information in this platform and that you can utilize it if you ever decide to switch total careers just like me. Have a good night, guys.